Hello, everyone, and welcome to Building a Podcast. We are live tonight here with myself, Obi-Wan Kenobricks, and we have the Brick Chef, and joining us as our special guest today, LegoCr8tor. Hey, everyone, how you doing?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Doing great, guys. How you guys doing? I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Absolutely, yeah, it's our pleasure. Glad we could get you on board for tonight, and we've got some exciting things to cover in the news, and then we'll jump into our interview portion, which is what we kind of like to do when we have a guest on. So without any other delay, we'll go ahead and pass it off to Brick Chef. It's a little bit more of a light news day, but still some cool stuff to discuss nonetheless. Take it away.
Yeah. So we'll just get right into it. As I've been mentioning the past couple of streams, we're getting ready for the big release wave of January 1st, where LEGO tends to have more than 150 plus sets come out. So we're just gradually getting a slow release of all those reveals. Today, we actually have reveals for the entire, I think probably will be the entire wave of Ninjago sets. I don't think any of us here are the biggest Ninjago fans. It's still a very amazing in-house theme. So we'll just quickly go through all the sets, get everybody's thoughts real fast, but it will be on the brief side. The first one here is they've been continuing with these small $10 sets. This is G's Lightning Evo. I'll be honest, I don't know what Evo stands for, but a lot of the Ninjago sets have it. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I'm sorry, what was that called? You cut out for a moment there.
Oh, it's Jay's Lightning Jet Evo.
Evo. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really. I'm sorry, I haven't really followed Ninjago very much, and by very much I mean at all, because it it came out as a theme after I was no longer as a a kid collecting Lego or playing with Lego. And then when I got back into Lego, I was like, I don't know what that is. So we had Dom on here, he would be all over it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, my son loves this theme. So, for $10, this is a great price point.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah.
We'll enjoy getting this set for him and let him get to build it. So
that's true.
Yeah.
And it looks like a cool set kind of thing,
Yeah, it looks to have a lot of interactability. I think maybe the Evo stands for the fact that it has parts that can be added on separately or after the fact. Don't always have to be there. I'm not sure what this back box art is trying to tell. I think that may be it, though.
I think a lot of these will end up in the parts, though, Ben. Once it's built out a little bit and the minifigs played with.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
honestly, yeah. But you've got, since it's such a bare bones kind of build, it looks like, you got a lot of flexibility for, what you could do with it as a person who plays with Lego. My daughter would probably love it too, honestly.
Yeah.
Good price point. Stocking stuffer.
And then
$1 price point, you can't beat that.
Yeah. And then moving on to a more expensive price point for $80, we have Jay's Titan Mech. But I'll say very interesting looking. I like what I'm seeing here. These large mechs from Ninjago have been pretty cool looking.
Yeah, they got a lot of flair.
I'm a big fan of the mechs myself. Kind of gives you that Voltron feel a little bit with this one.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
I really like this mohawk looking wire that's connected to the back. It's a really cool looking detail.
Looks like some interesting parts usage, really.
I think the blasters, that'll be a fun part for a lot of kids that'll have that as well.
Yeah, this set has these two very large blaster cannons on the shoulders. They're really cool looking.
It's like Bowser's mouth with the fireball that he shoots out.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that particular cannon function is something that Lego has had for a number of years now, but they've gone through a couple different adaptations. That's the more recent one. The original kind of cannon shooting dart deal, that's the technical term for it, was a little more rounded, but still had that real rubber end on it too. I think, if I remember correctly, a lot of the Knights Kingdom sets were some of those first ones to use that particular mechanism for launching. It's a great play feature.
And Marvel likes to use them a lot as well.
They do, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There used to be I want to say the shooter used to be a whole Technic piece, and now it's in Bowser it's a nice just 2x6 brick.
I have a couple. You move on, I'll grab it.
But yeah, no, so that's a nice mech. And then moving on to a dragon, it's Ninjago, so you got to have dragons. This is Zane's Ice Dragon creature. Very interesting build. I guess that's kind of uncanny. I guess it stands up. I'm not sure.
Transformer almost with this one. But I
Yeah.
like a lot of the dragons, how they have been evolving over the years with Lego.
So yeah, I guess it's a 2-in-1. You can just do like 2 complete different builds with this one. So very interesting.
And now this price point of $100, is this a August pricing with the increase, or do you think this one's fairly reasonable with the pricing in here?
I don't know. I mean, for 973 pieces, I'd say it's probably right on. Ninjago really isn't the best with its prices, I've noticed. Sometimes Ninjago stuff is pretty expensive for what it is. So I think this
Which
one
is
is
surprising, being it's a original Lego theme. And
exactly, yeah.
House, yeah. But you would think with an IP that they would be the reason for it being more expensive. Did you just see that just launched right over top of the screen? That was crazy. Well, here's the piece in question. The original Technic piece. I don't know if you can see that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. I don't have the thing anymore because it just launched literally right over the camera. But there we go. Yeah, get it sometime.
Exactly. But yeah, no. This one I think it's pretty reasonable for what it is. I'd imagine that dragon's probably pretty sizable.
Now on Ninjago, do they come out with any new parts when they end up releasing sets, or are they just reusing a lot of the parts that came out with other themes?
These dragon heads, I can't tell. I'm not. I just
that
wish
looks
I
like
was.
Avatar with the dragon heads right there.
Yeah, I think they must be slightly different. At least I don't know. At least for both, I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with Ninjago. I bet they probably are unique to Ninjago, but I wonder if they've been used before within the theme
It's
already.
like that mold. The top part of the dragon head looks exactly like the Avatar. The bottom looks like a new piece though.
Yeah, they definitely use new. Those are definitely new weapons. I think the sword that guy has and those daggers look to be new.
Those actually
And
look
I'm not
pretty
sure
good though.
about
Yeah, size
like
there.
these wings either.
I could see those being useful for other builds too.
Yeah. And then we will move
And if
along.
anything, they could be for Winter Village when Christmas comes along. Some of the pieces there.
Yeah.
White and gold there. Yeah.
They have the white little mountain pieces. It looks like you can use them for.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Do some nice wall texturing. The next one is Nia's or Naya. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Water Dragon Evo. So another one of these Evo sets. It's a cool looking little guy for $20.
I think 3 figs. That's a great price point.
Yeah.
Good, playability there for a lot of kids. So
a lot of color too, which is good for kids sets.
So I think the Evo must be that these weapons get added on after the fact.
The one thing I'm not a fan of though, the plain boxes now. Like
that's super boring.
Yeah, Ninjago. It's just Ninjago that does this too. The past like 2 waves of Ninjago now, the back of the box is like complete white, and it's just so it's very interesting.
And I feel like other themes are starting to get into that as well. Though.
I would agree. Unfortunately, it's like
not,
we forgot to do the art.
Yeah. So that's a cool little one. The next one is very wonky looking in my opinion. K's Mech Rider Evo. It's so weird. It's like half of the mech is normal and then the bottom half is a so I guess it is 2 different things, but it does
gives
look
the hidden side type of feel to it for some reason.
Yeah, it's just very weird looking. I don't know.
It is. Yeah, the oversized weapon of some kind there. I don't know.
I feel like purchasing separately though, like the helmet of the minifig, that could be a part that I could use.
I dig the box too, honestly.
And it looks like it has some things that's attach or add on there. The minifigs, I guess. So what are these? These are new enemies. I guess they have new enemies every wave. Are these? I think called the Bone Demons.
Yeah, they definitely don't look like they're alive there. So they're zombies. It looks like.
Yeah.
He's only mostly dead. Little Princess Bride reference. Okay,
Yeah.
breaking news. I just figured out what Evo means. It means that they are able to evolve or level up your dragons or vehicles with brand new features. Ha ha ha.
So it's almost like
Ah,
those
Yeah.
VIP polybags that they started giving out lately.
yes,
For the
I'm a
add-on
fan
content.
of those.
Yeah, I enjoy them as well. A lot of great parts come with that.
So yeah, this one is another one that you add on these. The mech goes on, and then this large axe and what looks like some boosters and some golden swords there get added on.
Yeah, it says you can, as you build the base dragon or vehicle or whatever it is, then you can add on upgrades like wings or armor plating, or even extend the size of the dragon through extra modules. Is what it
Hmm.
says.
So they definitely are
Eh,
going with the Voltron feel, where they're starting to add them together.
yeah.
Then
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wondering if you can take all of these to do like a super mech with it.
That would be
That
very cool.
Yes, I'm thinking of like, do you remember Throwbots? That was like the predecessor to Bionicle. And in the sheet that you pulled out from it, it showed that if you bought all 6 of them or all 4 of them or whatever it was of the original lineup, you could make it into one super robot, which was really cool. And I did that with a couple of the waves of Throwbots that they did, even though that's kind of a really obscure theme now. So yeah, I dig that idea of
I think
being
I
able to
heard of that. So that could have been Dark Ages for me, but that might have been around with the. Is it the Mixels?
It was way before that, actually. It
Okay.
was like, I wanna say it was like 2001 or something like that. It was really, um, early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar with it. It was like the like before Bionicle, there was
Yeah.
Throwbots.
And they even came in a plastic case, which is similar to what they ended up doing with Bionicle. The kind of shtick with Throwbots was that they were robots that had these discs that you could like bend their arm back and they would throw the discs, which was kind of a fun little feature. And inside the case, it had a slot for each of the discs that you could collect. And so the ones you bought would come with like 2 or something like that, or 3. But then you could also buy additional accessory ones that would come with a whole bunch of other discs, and you can kind of line them up and trade them and stuff, which was
That was
interesting
the
feature, right?
experimenting line with Lego, where
Exactly, yeah.
they
And
kinda
I've actually
did it
like
for a
I've
short
sold
run.
most of them now. Yeah, they done so many interesting things out there. I sold most of my Throwbots on Bricklink after rebuilding them and finding all the pieces for them. I have like 2 left on my store or something like
Hmm.
that. Anyway, tangent. Sorry.
Um, so yeah, no, then we have I think our first 4+ set of the Wave Lloyd Ninja Street Bike. I mean, these 4+ sets are always kind of lackluster, but
Yeah,
they're not for me as an adult. It's meant for somebody who has really
These are
never.
strictly just play for kids. That's literally
Yeah.
all these
yeah,
are made
yeah.
for. So,
And I think they're
This
very good at that too.
Yes,
I mean, this
and
is like that
this is what
Captain
a 4+
America,
set should be.
yeah, bike that they came
I'm
out with.
sorry. So this I'm so sorry, but this is what a 4+ set should be. Is it's $9.99, comes with, was it 1 or 2 minifigures? Even if it's just 1, that's really
Yeah,
not bad. Oh,
2.
2 minifigures, $9.99, and has, I mean, it's pretty nominal, building there. It looks like
I
what
do
I
think
feel
that
like it.
Ninjago does that a lot with the
Yeah, but
minifigs. They always have the good guy and the bad guy with it for
and that's a
like
great
that.
pairing. When you look at the ATST that came out that was 4+,
I knew you
that
were
one
gonna say
really
that.
got under my skin because I'm like, that's a price point that I feel like I don't really want to pay for that set for my
Yep.
kid, you know?
And the
Like,
black
Yep.
pieces on top, I kind of like that because that could be used for a roof on, a city. Get a bunch of those. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, no, that's a nice little simple one for the kids there. I think another $10 set here, like it's our third $10 set. This one looks pretty large too for a $10 set compared to the minifig right there.
it's those
Kai's
large ones.
Ninja Race Car Evo.
And I feel like Ninjago does have a lot of the $10 sets that they come out with,
It's a
out of
great
all
price.
the themes, every other one, it's like a 15, 20, or, $30 because of the licensing agreement. But they always come out with these, which I like that.
That's what's great about the in-house themes, they can do this and they don't have to worry about the licensing.
Oh yeah.
Now, are those prints or I believe those are prints, hopefully, because a lot of the 4+, they end up doing that for the kids there.
Yeah, I can't
Hard to
tell.
tell.
It might be because this one isn't a 4+ one, I guess.
It's a 6+.
I think that no, those are stickers. You can see the line very faintly
Yeah,
right
you can
there.
stick it in there.
So yeah, those are some stickers, unfortunately. But yeah, this is another Evo set. It's a very loose term because all you add on this is 2 katana swords and then like a spoiler in the back. So I guess that's a big Evo right there. Another cool dragon at $35 in middle of the ground one, Cole's Earth Dragon Evo. Very interesting looking dragon. I like that I think has to be a new piece right there. That horn, at least the start of his horn is curved.
That's interesting. I can see
That's
a
a cool
lot of future uses for that.
Yes. Very
Oh
cool.
yeah.
That one.
And then I think that's like the jaw we saw earlier, maybe like I think right side up. It was upside down earlier.
And where are these characters coming from? Because aren't they ending the Ninjago show? So
yeah, so I guess the show is ending, but I guess the sets will continue at least for the time being. I'm not too sure what's happening with Ninjago. It's like really their only in-house theme other than Friends and City.
Yeah.
But so I mean they don't really have room to get rid of it, so I don't really know what's happening with it.
They're really, I mean, it's widely popular too. So
Yeah.
you know, I can't see them getting rid of it for that reason.
I wonder if they'll do something like they're doing with Friends, where they'll do a reboot and they'll do like the kids of the original ninjas or something.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
I do like the spider build on this one.
Yeah, that's a very. So he's his own minifig. Yeah, those weapons I think are new. On
now with the enemies that they're creating here, are they similar to some of the other sets, or are they just changing the top hat? I don't know if I feel like I've seen this one, in one of the other Ninjago sets that came out, or every single one has a new minifig.
So yeah, I think at least this faction of guys I think are new to this new wave. I'm not sure how many of them are repeated between sets. So we'll pay attention to that with the next one. The next one is Lloyd's mech battle. This one reminds me of like a Marvel mech.
Yeah,
set.
It's like the Doc Ock Spider-Man right there.
Exactly.
Yes. Yep.
So I mean I think their legs are all the same, and their faces might also all be the same with their torso. There might be some torso variation between, but I think for the most part they're all the same.
And is this keeping in line with the golden ninja that they throw in each of the sets? Is this, or is that an actual character that is?
I think that's. I don't know. I want to say Lloyd is the green/gold ninja.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the Ninjago character, so I could be wrong. And then this is an Evo as well.
To get you to keep buying them with the golden minifig.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think there's one more. This one is kind of a cool one. The Creative Ninja Brick Box. So it comes in a box. I want to highlight that because I really like sets that come in these boxes because you can use it as storage.
Great storage.
Love
actually have one right next to me.
So I think for $60, that's a great price. 530 pieces plus you're getting a nice like storage bin. I think
which will be great to put all those Ninjago sets in once you collect them all.
Exactly. But I do like what you're getting. It's 6 minifigs. So
that's cool.
One bad guy in there, 2 trainees, Master Wu,
and I think for city builders, I mean, these are great starting point sets, like for you to mock or modify these. So
exactly,
I mean, it's a great starting point to start something like a little garden in the city there.
I love the architectural style. That's really neat.
Yeah, go with the spring gardens, to enter right into it. Or the spring lantern, I should say.
Yes. But yeah, no, those are our brand new wave of Ninjago sets. It's what are
like 10?
Yeah, 10 new sets.
Nice.
So yeah, those will be very, very cool and very interesting to get a look at once they release on January 1st. Moving right along, we're going to go over some deals and promos that Lego is running right now. So starting off at the top, the Eiffel's apartment is still going on. If you purchase your Eiffel Tower now between the end of the year, that promo was originally for some reason only for the weekend. I don't know.
I don't think they sold enough Eiffel Towers. That's why they're still around.
Why they would have thought they were going to sell out of every single GWP they made in the span of 2 days, 3
Came in
days.
today, actually, I just got this today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower is a great set if you have the money for it. I finished mine a couple days ago. So yeah, that one's still there. If you are planning on getting the Eiffel Tower, you'll get this awesome gift with it. Very cool. The Fun and Funky add-on pack is back, so it looks like that one's here for the rest of the year. So if you're a VIP, you spend $50 at Lego, you'll get the Fun and Funky add-on pack, which is my favorite one thus far. As you can see, there's a pig in there. I also know there's a pineapple head, cotton candy piece,
Chocolate frog.
Yeah, there's some really, really good pieces in this Fun and Funky add-on pack. And then I wasn't aware of this. There's double VIP points on these two sets. The Lego Technic all-terrain vehicle now until today, actually. So that ends today. So if you're listening to this past, this won't be good. But if you're buying right now, hey, maybe you want to get some Dots Designer Toolkit or a Technic all-terrain vehicle. That'll be a great way to get those. And then our final bit of news is more on the obscure side of things, but it is my favorite kind of news. It has to do with Lego ideas. So we talked about a while ago that they were celebrating the 50 years of Dungeons and Dragons with Lego ideas. So people have since then been submitting their set ideas that they want for Dungeons and Dragons, and they have now narrowed it down to 5 sets that you can now go vote for right now. So we're going to take a look at these 5 and then go vote for which one you want to be a set, and one of them will be made into a official Lego set.
And I love that the idea does this, like giving Lego fans the chance to build something and then they'll get it out there. I mean, this is one of my favorite themes that's out there right now.
Yes, it is my favorite theme. So it's cool to be looking at this. So our first one is the Monster Manual. That's a very cool looking build. You have I'm not too familiar with all the different monsters in Dungeons and Dragons, but you have quite a number of different things represented here, all with this like book at the base of it.
Yeah, just to clarify for
the books that they make, like this is kind of like the fairy tale one that they did a couple years ago.
Yes. Go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah, to clarify for listeners after the fact that we didn't specifically state what this was with the ideas sets. We're looking at Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, no. So our first 5 of the Dungeons and Dragons ones is the Monster Manual. So looks really great. Looks awesome. What are your thoughts on this one, Thomas?
I think it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the way that it just kind of pops off there like that's really cool. I like the two-headed monster, and we got the little guy with the snakiness going on. I don't know terms, but
I mean, if you're looking at this, I mean, this kind of gives you a little Monsters Inc. type of feel to it.
Yeah.
Kind of see Mike Wazowski in the middle there.
Little Wazowski-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
The dragon is really nice, though. I mean, that's excellent detail. Really,
I was going to say that the detail packed in that mini scale version of it's beautiful.
Yeah. So that one's a really cool one. We'll see how what one comes out. The next one,
the treasure chest, real quick. That's a treasure chest box, right? Turned it into a monster. That's great.
Yeah. I think that's what they call a mimic in Dungeons and Dragons, because you'll see in a little bit a whole set is dedicated to that guy. The next one is Xanathar the Beholder. So I guess that's specifically, we see him represented a lot. He's the guy in the center here. He must be a very prominent person in Dungeons and Dragons. So here he is with like a desk build and then a bookcase next to him. I like the detail that like dragon in a case there.
Yeah,
I could see them, if they end up going with the first design, taking the monster in this one and
because it looks a lot more detailed
on this one. Exactly.
So yeah, this one's very interesting. The next one is, like I was talking about before, the transforming mimic. So this one is just a full-on chest build that then turn. Oof.
Uh-oh. And he's back. You all right?
Just choking on thin air.
Don't do that.
This one scared you, I guess, huh?
Yeah, no, the mimic got me.
Oh my God.
Me.
I thought it was treasure, and then bite your hand
I
off.
know. And then he turned into something. But yeah,
So it
no,
looks like the
this
plates rotate. That's cool.
yeah, this one is very cool. Like just like in the game, I think the way this works is you think it's a normal chest, you open it up, and it turns into a monster.
And the teeth in that just,
Yeah.
Yeah, they look
very
great.
realistic.
I like the rotating nameplate as well. The treasure chest has like no stats, and then the mimic has like
Yep.
all the actual information.
Yep.
I'd like them to add that with a couple of the other sets that Lego does, like with the Marvel and the Transformers. theme.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
I do think though this one's a little bit too bland for them to go with it. I don't know though, because it is down to a pure vote.
And who knows with the brittle brown if they want to, really go with this one.
Yeah. That's a risk.
And then the next one is Tiamat's Dice Tower. So these Dice Tower builds are already super popular in the
Those are
community.
cool. Yeah.
The way they work is in Dungeons and Dragons, you're often rolling a lot of dice all at once. So the way these towers work is you put all your dice in, you push down on it, and it lifts the dice up and rolls all of them for you. So that's what this is, but it has the addition of it looking like a castle. You have some figs at the front, and then this really awesome 4-headed dragon. It looks super cool.
Yeah, that's those dice towers are pretty popular, and I have seen a lot of them that are the really cool builds. A lot of them incorporate castles and things like that. This is a really neat take on it. My only question would be the mass replicatability of it. I'm not sure that's a word, but oftentimes when the designers are looking at sets to create, they're looking at something where it's going to incorporate techniques that are easy enough for the majority of people to be able to put it together. Even if you're doing like Master Builder series, it's still like it's got to be something people can easily do over and over again.
Oh yeah.
The
we had
wings
a
look
comment on
incredible.
there.
I mean, I could see these being adapted into a lot of Lego sets now that they have the IP of these wings here. So
We had a comment come in there. First off, seven deadly streamers. Lego says hi to LegoCr8tor. Then also they said, if I had to guess, I would say Tiamat's Dice Tower will come out ahead, and I would agree with that. It's definitely the most standout in my mind so far that we've seen.
Yeah. I agree, except I think our last one here, the Dragons Keep Journey's End. I think
Yeah, that's awesome.
this one right here, I think we're looking at our winner. I personally voted for this one already. It is a very cool looking build. I think it's the most the most easily advertisable to a mass consumer. I think you can have this without like having a connection personally to Dungeons and Dragons, and I think that's what Lego will want. What are your guys' thoughts on
and
this
what
one?
would the piece count be on this one? This one looks like it would be a $200 set right off the bat.
Yeah, this one looks like it is. I think we can click on this and get a more specific. I don't know if that is that. Yeah, so it didn't. I have to hold on, do some back end really fast. Let me switch what I'm sharing. But yeah, we can take a look at the actual specific page for it.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, looking at that, I love the kind of broken tower look of it. And
So yeah, this one, does it say how many pieces it has? I guess not. But this is a more breakdown of the, this is, I guess it's good that we're looking at this. This has a whole like backside to it. I definitely think this one's going to get
Wow.
This is a winner for me if I would have to pick on any of them.
Yep, my vote's changed.
So yeah, there's the dragon alone. Like the dragon alone
Wow.
looks really, really cool.
Yes.
That's great that you can actually have that separate from there as well.
Yeah, take it off, display it differently.
And then there's that one guy again. We see him come up a lot, and then all the cool little minifigs that are set to come along with it as well. I could see the minifigs are probably is where Lego is going to go absolutely wild with. They're going to make probably some new molds, tons of really nice prints for the minifigs.
Well, they could do like each of the classes, like the character classes too.
Yeah.
Cleric and your mage.
Like,
paladin,
Friends was made with the ideas, and then they came out with their own set. I could see them
yes.
coming in with a couple more from this theme.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So there are our 5 Dungeons and Dragons sets. Go to Lego Ideas once we're done with our stream and go vote for your favorite of the 5. I know my favorite is this one. I don't know about you guys, but I'm
And how
hoping
long
to
is
see
this
this
vote
one.
running till? When's this
So
end?
this one, let's find out. It is not very.
Looks
I
like
know
11
it's
days left. It just had it on the right there.
yeah. That was for the specific set. We'll go and
Okay.
check real fast because I know it tells us. Right here. Where is it? So the 12th of December. So yeah, everybody, you guys have this started just 2 days ago, the 28th. So yeah, you have from now until the 12th of December to cast a vote, and
It's a
then
short
we
run, I
will.
feel like.
Yeah, it is. They've done a couple of. This is more new. I remember about I want to say like 6 months ago they did something with Target, so that'll probably get revealed sometime soon. Where they brought three Lego Idea sets that were rejected previously back, and you could vote from three of them, and one of them is going to be a Target exclusive Lego set. Obviously, still available on Lego.com, but it'll be retail exclusive to Target. And that was similar, where it only had like a 2-week period of voting before they picked the set.
And you
So
can
yeah,
use VIP points from Target. Just pop
yes,
in
you
your
can.
receipt now on the Lego site.
So yeah, that is going to do it for the news.
Excellent.
And that brings us into our main topic today. Lego creator Evan. We are just going to get right into things. I'll kick it off here with our first question. We're starting simple and easy. What is your favorite Lego theme?
Favorite Lego theme? I mean, Ideas was one of them, but I would have to say I guess, icons. And I say icons with the
Mhm.
quotes there because it's still creator to me, the creator expert line.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Big
that
city
theme.
fan. I mean, I created a city here. You can't really see it because it's to the right of me,
Sure.
left
Yeah.
on the screen, but I just have a ton of fun building the city. I wait every January 1st for the new modular to come out, and then they've been coming out with a lot of great, Back to the Future that they just came out with it, the Transformers set. So, I mean, they've been coming out with a lot of great sets this past year.
Yeah, no, Lego, the creator expert theme is great and or icons, however you want to call it. It's a great theme. It's produced some of the best Lego sets ever. I mean, the Titanic, Eiffel Tower, all part of that theme. I mean, it's a great over encompassing theme. And yeah, your
And Ideas,
city,
it's a close second though with Ideas.
Mm.
yeah, they really are. I'd say in the same vein of just like they produce really high quality. Every set is really great
I think
and
it's the fact that there's not that many repeats with it. So it's like everything that comes out, it's a one of one.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. With like a Star Wars, we've gotten a million land speeders.
Oh yes.
Only
So
6, but who's counting?
Yeah. Well, speaking of specific sets, do you have a specific set that you would call your favorite?
I mean, if we're gonna go, back in the day, we're gonna say the Black Seas Barracuda. I mean,
Uh,
that is my number one. That's the set that got me into Lego right there. So
mm.
well, that perfectly leads into the next question. Well, I'll just ask it so you can go a little bit deeper. Do you remember what first got you into Lego when you were a kid?
yeah, so I mean the Black Seas Barracuda. I remember being at Toys R Us, and this is back when Toys R Us used to have the whole Lego aisle. You would
Yeah.
walk up and down with the displays. Everything was just, it was another world as a kid when you would walk in there. And I just remember seeing the little battle packs of the, Pirates themes, the all the small sets that they would have. And then I just remember catching that eye of the Black Seas Barracuda. I said, I needed this. I begged my parents to get that, and luckily they ended up buying it for me, and that was it. Once I had that set, I was hooked.
Yep. Yep. Completely resonate with that. Yep. I feel like a lot of us kind of had similar experiences. We get something that's really enjoyable and we latched on to as a child. I think a lot of us kind of got into Lego just because of that. Like it's the thing that your parents got you because it was a building toy or whatever.
And I think that
A lot of-
Toys R Us, like that was,
yeah,
I don't
man.
remember any other places like buying Lego as a kid. Now that
Yeah,
I'm, trying to think of it, maybe a couple
yeah.
years like in the later end, I remember other stores having it, but it was always Toys R Us, and it wasn't too big on the video games back then.
Yeah, well, I've gone through some of my old like boxes that my parents gave me back. A lot of the they saved a lot of the boxes for my sets when I was growing up, and a lot of them were Toys R Us. There was a few that's like a little like those $2.99 little boxes they used to do. That basically now that's a poly bag, like Kmart or Venture Store or something like that. But
That was the
you
five
know,
packs
y-
minifig, where they came
yeah,
with a couple of
those
them
little
in there.
accessories,
So
yeah. Yeah, those were always in the Lego catalog too, and I always wanted those. If I ordered anything from it, like, well, at least can I get one of these? And we come with like 20 swords and shields and stuff like that. I was like, I really wish they still had those kind
I
of
remember
packs.
building and trying to, send my
Yeah,
photos into getting that catalog too.
me too.
Never
Yeah,
happened, but
no, yeah. I was just looking through some of those the other day, and I was like, man, look at those awesome creations, and some of the kind of not so great ones too that we still made it in. Well, a lot of us also kind of went through a period where we got away from Lego. You mentioned a little bit earlier, kind of touched on having a little bit of a dark age. You want to elaborate on that?
yeah. So I mean, everybody goes through that dark age. I feel like
Mhm.
everybody my age at least. I'm 38, and I don't see too many people that ended up staying in consistently. And
Yeah.
everybody, whatever it was that got them out, but I want to say like right after the Western theme. That's when,
Mhm.
I got out of Lego, which it's a
Yeah.
shame because there was a couple themes right after Western that I missed out on, and I wish I had them now. So
Mhm. Any particular?
Yeah.
I think the Johnny Thunder, that
Yeah. Yeah.
came out like right after I was getting out of Lego, and
Mhm.
I look at some of those and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
some good Egyptian sets that they made with that.
I
Oh
know. Yeah.
yeah.
I had a friend who had the one that had the blimp, and he was talking about getting all those pieces together and maybe selling them to me or something like that. I was like, yes, please get them together because I'll take them.
100%. If you're not, let them know. He can send them my way.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, please find them.
So, do you remember what specifically got you back into Lego?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I remember watching the Lego movie in 2014.
Yeah.
When I saw that and I realized like you could do all of this with Lego bricks. Like when I was originally building, it was very basic, like building a house or a building, some statue that you would make. And then when I saw the details in some of these, modular buildings, I was like,
Mhm.
wow, this is insane. I need a city. And the Parisian restaurant, like that was the one that I got into that, right around that same time. I mean, it was right in that year.
Yeah, no, your Lego city is amazing. Like it's how much space does your Lego city take up?
I mean, right now it's on 3 tables that are, each table 72 by 36.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Do you have a
Pretty
building
good.
count?
I remember converting them all to mills.
Oh,
So when I ended up doing that, that was 24 buildings that I had to convert onto the mills plates. So,
Whew.
wow. Wow.
and
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Assembly Square was, not a fun one because that was
Oh,
almost
yeah.
a base plate and a half.
Yeah, that's hard. Wow.
But I recommend that for any city builders out there. Go mills. If you are in between right now, start with your next building, making it mills, and slowly convert everything on the back end.
Yeah. You want to elaborate on that? I think some of our listeners may not be familiar with the term.
Yeah.
It's
So
pretty widely used in city building, but I think probably not everybody is aware of it.
modular integrated landscaping system. It's basically
Yeah.
a way to just lock in everything together. It's a more sturdy base plate. It just gives you the ability to make your landscapes. You can go high with, mountains with it, interlocking, can make it into, a river, that goes a little bit deeper. So you can have the different levels of it. And it makes it a lot for somebody like me who likes to rearrange my city a lot.
Yeah.
The movement with it. I mean, a lot of people that use it, I think, go to conventions that they display something and they use the mills setup to basically easily transport it. But for somebody like me that goes through multiple city variations, I mean, this is a way to just always be able to change it, but still make it very easy and manageable to do so.
Yeah. Well, and that's good
Yeah.
for like if you're in a lug or something where you do collaborative projects. Everybody's using the same system. You can put them together without even having to have been in the room together, which is great. As I understand it, the basic layout is plate brick plate, right, for the total height, or is
Correct.
it?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's the base
Okay.
plate, that
Yeah.
comes with a
Yeah.
standard set. You build it,
Right.
standard brick on top, and then it's a, everybody uses a 4x4 plate.
Yeah.
gives you a little bit more accessibility if you do lighting or, you want to hide wires underneath it. But again, you can use any plate, on top. But I think the 4x4 allows the limited stress on the actual build itself.
Yeah, which is good. Especially if you're moving around.
Don't want pieces to break on you. So
exactly.
We had a
it's a great system.
Comment in the chats from 7 Deadly Lego streamers. Lego had younger brothers, so they kept collecting when I stopped. That is pretty good, actually. That's I'm sure that was kind of helpful to be able to stay in there.
And then it's hopefully you were the one that got to keep it.
I know, yeah. Another comment also from Zisso. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Yes, we appreciate that. We keep on meaning to incorporate that into our spiel at the beginning of our
yes.
Yeah. Well, so we talked about, getting out of Lego, getting back into it. Now we're all here talking together on this crazy new media here. And so that begs the question, what brought you into Lego social media? How did you get started as a content creator?
So, obviously I've had the Lego, the back end. I had all my sets, from my childhood, and I'm talking from like 89 to, 97, then getting back into it. And I forget who the account was that I saw, but I was on my private account and I saw somebody just doing a live stream. And this was, during the pandemic. Not that I want to talk about, that, but it was a good time when everybody was looking for something to do, sharing a hobby. So, I did already have a city built at the time, and I was like, man, people like looking at photos of, Lego. I like looking at it. So I was, just posting some of my city builds to kind of, get myself into posting. I remember just creating an account, and just putting some city shots up there. And, I was getting like 5-10 likes on it, but I was like, at least people, enjoy this, and just slowly letting it grow over time, which was nice.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for those who don't know, you're primarily an Instagram creator. You're LegoCr8tor on Instagram. And I feel like that's where you've been on the
That's where I
started.
Yeah, 100%. That's where I started on. So this was back October of 2020. So I feel like even the tail end of like the pandemic, because people started, I feel like in 2019, right at the beginning of it. So I finally decided to make that account on Instagram, and then I did branch into TikTok a little bit. I feel like, as the kids say, I'm a boomer when talking about me being on there.
I do feel like that's such a shared narrative, though, for a lot of us. It's like we may have gotten away from doing stuff with Lego. Probably didn't even realize there was like a community that did it online. And then, bam, we hit with the pandemic, and a lot of us, got back into it and got started creating content. Not even like deciding to do it, but just like, oh, other people are doing this. I want to share too.
It's a good thing and a bad thing. It got me to purchase a little bit more, I think, as well with it. So.
Yep.
So what kind of content, like, primarily do you focus on? Like, what do you like to make the most? What's the most enjoyable for you?
So, I mean, when I started, it was, taking photos of, the city. That was, a big thing that I wanted to do. And then I guess as the account evolved and I started growing, I started doing videos of the city. And then when Reels really took off on Instagram, it was, trying to bring comedy, I would say. Like that was the avenue that I would go with it, where I like to make people laugh a little bit. Being a comedian, something I would always love to do, but I never had the, courage to get up on a stage and, tell a joke there. But I guess when you can film yourself behind the scenes, you can kind of edit it a little bit to put out exactly what you want to get out there. So
yeah, it's nice to be able to polish it the way you want it,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just trying to make people laugh. Like if you can't laugh at yourself, you shouldn't be on here anyway.
100%. Yeah. You can't take yourself too seriously. I mean, life's too short for that, honestly. But I can definitely resonate with the having to redo things and wanting to get it perfect. I mean, my wife is always kind of laughing when she hears me say the same phrase like 14 times in a row. She's like, "Did you get it finally?"
I get that a couple times where my wife will say like, I can do it better than you now. So
yeah, we're like, I know the script by heart now. Like, why don't you move over? I'll go ahead and do this. Well, so you've been collecting for a while now. Do you have any set that you never got that you always wanted, or that like a holy grail out there?
Yeah, I mean, for a set that I always wanted, and I don't know why I never got it. I feel like as a kid, I might have been able to get that if, I asked, with my parents for, a holiday, they would have definitely got it for me. But the monorail, I
Ah,
don't
yeah,
know. Like my friends had it, and it was like one of those things like, oh, I'll just go over to their house and, get to play,
yeah.
with the
Matt
monorail.
has it.
So,
Yeah, Matt
Yeah, the
Express has
so
it.
he
monorail.
has the space monorail, correct?
Oh, yes, he has the space one.
I
Yeah,
would like
you
the
wanted the city
airport.
one.
Yes,
Yeah,
the city one. I guess it's
yeah.
the airport shuttle.
Hmm. Yeah, that was amazing too. Yep.
Yeah, the monorail I think is a lot a lot of people's holy grail because it was just so. It was only just the two, right? The space monorail and then
And
the.
that, yeah, exactly.
That
And I
was
think
it.
I've seen a couple of them go for, right around 1,000, for
Yeah.
buying it. And I can't get myself to buy that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a big leap, you know? I mean, it's really cool, but like so many other things I want to prioritize, unfortunately.
but I mean, if you look at people that still have it, it runs perfectly
Oh, I
from,
know.
when it was built back then. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the quality of Lego, I mean, it holds up in time.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep. 100%.
There's a comment again from Seven Deadly Streamers Lego. He says, "I always like seeing your kids make an appearance." Evan, that's what it's all about: sharing your passion with your family.
And that's where my account's almost going now in the future. My son's really getting into wanting to be a part of the content portion of this. So he's not
Yeah.
as much into the building. He likes to still play with everything, but he might, I'm searching through audios of, things that I'm like listening to, and he might hear one and say like, let's go do that. So,
I
and
love
I'll
that.
never turn it down, if he
Yeah.
wants to do one of those. So,
You know what? I loved your one that was Lego brings out the kid in you, and you were building, and then you turned into your kid, and I was like, oh, yeah, that was good.
and then I think one of the first ones I did with him was the DeLorean, when
Oh,
I
okay.
had the big one and I tossed it up, or it was maybe I had the small one and tossed it up, and he caught it with the big one. So that was one of the first
Okay.
that he got into with me.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that is super great. So do you have any controversial Lego opinions?
I don't know if Tom will still like this, but uh, yeah, I mean, I've always said with Star Wars, like it's not that I dislike Star Wars sets, but it's like the rinse and repeat, where they know it works, and
Yeah.
let's repeat the same set and just make it a little bigger, or specifically like the R2D2. Like, what
Oh,
they
I
changed
know.
like 4 pieces in that. I didn't build the first one or the second one. I did get the second one, so I do have that one, but it's just too similar for me. And
Yeah. Well, I agree. I mean, the Death Star Final Duel, I actually built by parting it out, the most recent one. But
the
I mean,
base
I
plate,
compared it. Hmm?
the
Yeah,
base
the
plate
one.
one, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because I had the original one that was like in a tiny box as well. I had both of it. It was a two-part set. But yeah, I mean, literally they made it in like 2018 and 2020 or something like that, and they're like almost identical. It's like, come on, why? Yeah, I mean, no, you're not offending me by that. I mean, like, yeah, look at these. We've got TIE fighters.
And I wouldn't mind like if there was like a 5 to 7 year gap between some of these sets, but it's
Right? Yeah, but
1 to 2
yeah,
years that they're coming out with it, and
that's the thing. Yeah,
I get it. It's your breadwinner. You want to keep producing the sets. People will buy it. You change,
yeah,
a minifig with it, and all of a sudden everybody needs to get it just for the one minifig that they came out with a different printed arm.
yeah. No, I can 100% agree on that, honestly. And I feel like sometimes they take it like a little bit too far in terms of like I'm like they've designed it just because they know people will buy it. And I feel that way a little bit with like the Dagobah one, Dagobah Jedi Training. Like it's really I mean that one and the other vignette one, the
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 trash
trash
compactor?
compactor. Yeah, really expensive set for the size of it. Now I understand the density and the number of pieces and all that, but I'm like you price blocked a unique printed C3PO and R2D2 with this set that like I don't know if I want it, but
But you'll buy the figure for $30. So
that's
it's almost
exactly
like
it.
you go buy the set and have the parts at
Yes,
least.
exactly. Yep. So no, I totally resonate with that. I mean, How many land speeders do we need? You know, but yeah, it's all right.
And the Star Destroyer is retiring this year, so that leads me to
Mhm.
think that 3 years from now we're gonna have a new one.
Yeah, no, I know. If they make another Star Destroyer, I'd be don't do it again. I'll be mad at myself because I bought that thing. I panic bought it like because I
Yeah,
was like,
that's the other end of the argument though as well that people sit there and say like then it retires and then it becomes too
Yeah,
expensive for me to even get, so they're coming out with it so me as a younger fan that's just getting into Star Wars can at least get the set. So I
yeah,
get that argument, but you don't do that with Cafe Corner or the Green Grocer.
yeah,
yeah,
And
yeah.
totally.
I use that, which I missed out on it, so I don't want
Exactly. Like, yeah,
to.
you're totally right about that. I could use a re-release of some original modular buildings. Like,
Yep.
And they could get into that because they could
Mhm.
just put in the insides to the buildings now, which they didn't do that back
exactly.
in the
Exactly. It
day.
was
So
bare on the inside. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly, and new
I don't
minifigs.
know. Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate sometimes like the rehash, like you said, like maybe it's a new fan who's just gotten into it in the last few years, but at the same time, like we could also just keep in production the existing model, and it probably would have been fine. Like that few of an update, that few updates to it, I don't know, feel like that's that substantial.
It
Now,
would
I
be
will say,
tip
like,
in the bottle. Like you could do like with that where they brought it out of retirement, a couple
yes,
years
yeah.
later, like you were just saying there.
Now, I will say, like the build quality between the original Tie Fighter, like look how floppy and flimsy that is. It's held on by like two Technic pins that are on those 2x4 bricks versus the new one. No movement at all. Now it's smaller, but this was one of the first new Star Wars sets that I bought when I got back into Lego, and I compared it with this one because I literally had never seen a TIE fighter in Lego ever since this one, and I'm like, okay, that's a substantial difference. We're talking about one plate thick here versus like it's actually built out, in a substantial way. This has some heft to it. You can toss it across the room, the whole fuselage is still intact, and you just rebuild the wings. But
And
yeah,
seeing the
otherwise like
black and blue one that, I had
uh,
that
yeah,
as a kid,
yeah,
like the original Darth
yeah,
Vader,
yeah,
TIE fighter with the original Darth Vader, and I don't have that
yeah.
set anymore. That's one that, got away from me.
Yep. And I had the one with the light up Darth Vader where you pressed on his head and his lightsaber lights up, which was the 2001 re-release of the 1999 TIE Fighter. But yeah, I mean, just too close succession on and too few changes. I think it's a little bit maybe too much.
And then you get like the people that collect them all, and like, where do you
Oh
display them all at that
yeah,
point?
I
It just looks
know.
like a
Yeah.
shelf of the same thing.
Yes, if you have seen Lego Star Wars guy in VA, his ambition is to collect every single Star Wars set that has ever been released, and I mean it's just like wall after wall after wall, and it's like wow, that is a lot. That is a lot.
I forget. Is that the account that has all them in the boxes sealed? That they're
No, they're all
There's
displayed
somebody I know
out.
that has that one that's all the
Oh man,
sealed Star
yeah.
Wars sets right now,
I don't
and
think I
I'm
could handle
talking
that.
all of them. So
I don't think I could handle that. I have to build them. I feel like I don't know. I can't collect it and not build it. You know.
I have a large collection of unbuilt sets right now. So and
Yeah.
it's the premium of the space.
I
Where
get
can I
it.
store it? So
I have a backlog of probably 10 sets or so that I haven't built, but probably gonna build them all eventually. Um, so leading on to our next set of questions. Sorry, I dropped that TIE fighter down there. What is your perspective on the current state of Lego and the Lego community? You have any thoughts on that?
so are we talking Lego community as social media Lego community or
Well, more
the
like the greater community, not
Yeah.
really limited to social media, but the those who follow Lego.
I would say that in terms of Lego I feel like has been catering more toward the adult, lineup with sets right now. And I think that they're starting to realize that, us that were the kids that grew up with a lot of the, original releases of Lego sets are now adults that can spend money. So they're trying to make it a little bit more appealing to us.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
also making the price point. I feel like they're pricing out a lot of the new incoming, Lego fans that are out
Yeah.
there. I know that we went over the Ninjago that they had in the beginning there with the, very well priced sets, but a lot of the ones that they, have to pay licensing on. I mean, you're only going to get into it if you specifically like that,
Mhm.
theme of Lego itself, where you know, when we grew up, I feel like the variety of like getting into everything and getting to build everything
Oh yeah.
made you really enjoy Lego a lot more than, hey, I'm a Marvel fan, I'm just going to buy Marvel stuff. So
Yeah, well, we didn't have the luxury of IPs at that time. It
uh,
was just in-house sets. I mean, I have Ninja, Pirates, Space, Town, Rock Raiders, Aqua Zone, Aquanauts and Aqua Sharks, and Castle, and more Castle. And, you know, I had like a preference toward like medieval and pirates, you know, and
but you
space.
build them all.
You build them all. Exactly. I've got a whole bunch of islanders that are hanging out waiting for me to have shelf space, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I feel like a lot of the stuff, like, you know, they're just going larger scale with it. Like, you know, with the Hogwarts Express, like I did buy it because they had the $100 coupon. So I did take advantage of that for 100 VIP points, but I don't see it going anywhere. You know, right now that's going to sit in the box for a little bit because it's the same size scale as the Titanic behind me. So it's not like I can put 2 of those long sets up there that takes all the shelf space right there.
Yeah. 100%. We had a question in the comments there. I'm so sorry. I said from East Coast Lego said, ask him about the big gray frisbee.
So I think we're talking about the Star Trek set that Lego has out there, but we're talking the Millennium Falcon on that one. for those that didn't catch the joke there, but yeah, with the Falcon, I mean, again, that was, you know, like we were saying, we're just getting bigger, you know, with it, and I could see them like when that one retires.
I really don't. I don't think they're ever going to retire that one at this point.
It's been since 2017, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I think it will. I mean,
I mean,
they want to redo it and, you know, get other people like, because right now the market is everybody has the Falcon that wants it.
Yeah, I mean,
and maybe
just about
1/10 of the Lego population will spend the money on that. So they have to they have to go back to that population that already bought it and change it up a little bit or come out with something, you know, a little different that makes them want to buy it and have the next Millennium Falcon. So
yeah,
full interior this time.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we don't have a precedent yet at this point for having a third UCS version of the same set, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens down the road.
That would be the one I would expect.
Yeah, the Falcon. Yeah,
the most
exactly.
iconic Star Wars set of all time. So yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like as time goes by, we're how many years separated from 2017 now? We're like like 5 or so years, whatever.
Right.
I can't math right off the top of my head, but
well, and then I mean, it's interesting to know
new parts come out.
The longest set in like the system prior was the Disney Castle, and that came out in 2016. Retired this year,
and you know they're making a new one.
That's what I think too. I have no idea.
It's not going to be just the half of it. It's going to be the full scale of it, you know, when they come out with it the next time. So they got to make a use for having these licenses that they have. So
and like you said, invigorating, you know, people who already have or you know have decided they don't want it because of X or Y, you know, give them a new reason to buy it, you know. Plus, I mean, you're packaging sitting on the shelf for, you know, 10 years, probably not, you know, it kind of gets to be the thing that you ignore. Like if something sits in the same spot, looks the same, your eye goes right past it. So
but the packaging coming up in the future is going to be worse than what it was now because they're
because they'll be white. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Let's see. Go ahead.
So yeah, what's something that's come out of the social media side of Lego that you didn't expect?
To be, you know, like I'm not a huge account by any means, but like I didn't expect to have, you know, a lot of people that, you know, enjoyed my content. To be honest, you know, I grew pretty, you know, a larger amount in scale of, you know, followers this year than I did the year before. And, you know, I don't know if people could just resonate with the, you know, stuff I was putting out there or if they just enjoyed it. But, you know, it's definitely always good to see that, you know, what you're doing, you know, people can actually appreciate a little bit. So,
yeah.
And I totally didn't expect it. So,
that's fun. Kind of rewarding too, right? Do you have a proudest Lego moment, would you say?
I mean, just proudest Lego moments are ones where I'm down in my Lego room and I'm here with my kids, you know, as a father. Like it's great to see something that I enjoyed, that I can watch them, you know, do something similar and have that same enjoyment and, You know, if I saw all the Lego that I have now as a kid, like I would have lost my mind. Like,
I'd lose it. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
and I try to not limit it to like, this is my set. And this, you know, I made my city like very interactive, that all the streets are on the outside so that my son can, you know, drive around in it and get
I
to
love
actually enjoy, you know, being a part of it. So,
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of the Lego movie.
yeah, I mean,
You're not trying to craggle the whole city.
the only bad part, like I started getting into light kits, you know, this
Oh
past
yeah.
few months.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of them were on battery packs before, but I decided like, let me get some USB wiring and, you know, extend it that now like the back of the one's part of the city, it's like all wire. So it's like, it almost got to that Lego dad moment where you can't really go back there because I don't want you to, you know, trip on a wire. So,
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is one of like the biggest challenges that's come out of the social media side of things?
I think biggest challenge recently, you know, it's not I'm in a rut of like I don't know what to post, or you know I don't know what I want to post. It's lately like the interest of like I found myself like wanting to actually do more content than I was getting to enjoy the building process and having like the sets and just relaxing and building the set. So, you know, this past month, even I kind of slowed down how I was on social media to kind of get back into why I originally joined Lego social media in the first place. So I think that, you know, is something that I'm starting to try to get back into of why I wanted to be into this in the first place. So,
Do you have
Yeah,
like
and
anything in particular that you enjoy the most out of that you enjoy the most in doing content creation or in social media in general?
I mean, for the most part, you know, anything that I think somebody will smile at, like
Yeah.
that's again, that's what I really have, you know, the passion for. So, I mean, I just like trying to make something relatable. You know, I tried to get my wife to want to be a part of,
Yeah.
you know, the social media journey with me. I thought it would be funny, like having that husband and wife where like I overdid it and she was underwhelmed with it, you know, that troll factor of it. And I had a lot of fun when I did videos with her as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that too, and it's good to have that kind of ability to share that too. I feel like sometimes if I spend too much time just doing this as my own thing, it kind of creates a little like alienation too. Honestly, you know, and it's not at all what I want to do with it. You know, I want to make people feel included.
Well, that's where I'm getting into with my kids now. So,
Yeah, and that's awesome. Do you find that they, you know, that they really enjoy doing that and really jump into it?
I mean, my son, 100%. You know, my daughter
Yeah,
likes the building. She doesn't like, you know, being filmed or like being on camera. And like, I'll never push my kids to do something they don't want
no, of course,
to do.
yeah.
So, you know, I love the fact that she's really into the Harry Potter sets right now.
Mine is
Um,
too. Yeah,
loves building all the Hogwarts sets. So, I mean, I'm going to keep buying them as long as she keeps building it.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know, but my son really loves the social media aspect of it. Like some of the videos where you can do a transition where you throw something up and it's air and then you catch like the box and
I
he
do.
sees that finished result. Like he calls it the magic. Like I want to do that, like the magic. So, you know,
I love.
I like doing that with him.
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
fun.
awesome.
I got my daughter is really into the Lego Harry Potter as well. We've been playing on 2 player on PS4 on the Lego Harry Potter. You know, the full 7 years. I try to like skip past spoilers because I've only read through her book 4 because I didn't really want to go past you know, the Prisoner of Azkaban or what I get into
Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire. Yeah, I didn't read her all of Goblet of Fire
Very
yet. 'Cause,
big into
like,
Harry Potter.
yeah, she's and I mean I remember reading them and I've probably read them 2 or 3 times and then I started reading them to her and I just didn't want to get to the whole Cedric situation. She's 8 years old and you know like we'll address
Okay, so
that
your daughter's
later.
actually the same age as mine. So
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
still
Yeah,
haven't let her, you know, watch the last, I want to say the last 3. So
yeah,
I'm waiting a
yeah.
little bit before I, you know, let her get into those.
Yeah, well, that stuff with Sirius Black is so traumatic and sad, and there's a lot of much more adult oriented stuff. I feel
Like
like,
Half
you
Blood
know.
Prince is my favorite out of them
Oh,
all,
mine
and
too. Yeah,
she
so
hasn't seen
good.
it yet. And you know, I
Yeah,
keep telling her like, "Hey, one day I'll let you get to watch this, but I don't want her to know that, Dumbledore,
I know.
you know.
I know. Yeah, we don't want. Yeah, yeah, and we learned so much from Professor Slughorn, and it's just really fascinating. I mean, your entire perspective on Professor Snape changes just from that, and that's. I mean, I love the writing. It's phenomenal, and the movies are a really great interpretation too. It's always also kind of funny when you watch back and you're like, wait, in the book, Ron said that when he saw the boggart, he said, imagine the spider with no legs, and in the movie they gave him roller skates. I'm like, wow, they just wanted, whatever.
Well,
Gotta have some comedy in there.
real
Exactly,
fast,
yeah.
I want to interject.
Sorry.
We have a host appearance coming in. We got Maticus. He's joining
Boom.
us for a late appearance
Love,
in the
love the
show.
glasses there.
I heard we were having a podcast or something.
Oh yeah, better late than never.
Well, thank you guys for accommodating me and allowing me to come in late. Are you hearing an echo? I'm hearing an echo.
I am not.
Yeah, I think we're all good on our end.
That
I can
is
echo what you
fantastic.
say if you want. I can
Echo. I had to
Echo.
represent. These were given to me by the guy himself.
Ah, nice.
Well, how's
Very
it
good.
going?
And have to say, you're still up there on my son's, favorite content creator out there on TikTok. So
that is amazing. Honestly, that was the best accolade that I got the whole weekend.
High
Like-
praise.
Absolutely.
and I find that, like, we were just talking about my son, like, getting into this. My son
Yes.
actually likes watching a lot of all the videos that everybody does out there
that's
as well.
awesome.
So
Oh yeah.
it's fun seeing which ones he gets into and what styles of the Lego community that he actually
Mhm.
likes to watch.
That's awesome that he's actually really, it's almost like you're training the next generation. Maybe he can take over the Lego creator
That's right.
name.
He'll definitely make it a lot bigger than I could ever do. So.
Well, we are
Maybe by the time he takes over, we'll drop the Lego out of there. So
and it's just creator.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? That's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm just getting my Google Doc up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
No worries. Yeah.
do you got any? We already covered one, Harry Potter, but do you have any other like favorite movies or books or TV shows? More of a personal question.
I mean, in terms of movies, I love The Matrix. I was very big into that. I wish that Lego would get into making a set with that. Maybe ideas. Anybody that's out there listening, like, if you're
Lego
a fan,
ideas.
put it out there. Try to build something, because I'd love to get a Neo and a Morpheus. But I just like that storyline, because it almost, with us being in the Lego community, you almost feel like you're plugged in when you're making content. So
knock knock, Neo.
Follow the white rabbit.
Yeah, that's right. Wow, cool. Let's see. We got Matt in there now. Looks like he's got access to the documents.
Yes. Yes. So which we are
Numero.
This is just
18.
18. Okay. See, that's where I was confused, because it looked like we had already asked number 17. We're on question number 18 here. So
And that's my lucky number. So
perfect.
18 is a lucky number for you.
18 is one of my favorite numbers out there. So 18 plus sets. I mean, that's what we're all here for.
18 plus questions.
That's 5 more than my lucky number, which is 13. So for number 18, speaking of Lego sets, what is a theme Lego does not already make, which you would like to see them create?
Oh, I almost just got into the Matrix with it, but I'd like to see a lot more movies being made into themes. Like, I love that they did the Transformers, Back to the Future. Like, I would love to see Kit from Knight Rider get made, into a set here. I think it would fit perfectly with the, UCS Batmobile and the Ecto-1.
Would have to have a light brick.
Yeah, it definitely needs that, and it needs to have a talking brick.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. Well, listen, they made the David Hasselhoff minifigure, now they can go for the whole set.
Now they need the whole, exactly.
For Lego Dimensions.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So there's the mini Knight Rider.
Right. Just the mini kit.
So the fact that they already made it, I mean, they did that with the DeLorean. So
they did. Ecto-1, like it all happens that way.
And I feel like that's what Lego stays with a lot of them, that they redo. Back to Star
they
Wars,
really do.
Redo it. So
everything that's been made before can come back, right?
Better.
Nice. Yeah. Even better than before. Cool. That's a great answer.
All right. And then Thomas, I think, has our final main question.
Sure. So, last question of our main segment here. If you could have any minifigure specifically that does not exist, we talked about themes that don't yet exist. If you could nail it down to a figure or even like a group of figures, what would it be?
I'd like to see Family Guy. I mean, they get into a lot of the,
Yeah.
The Simpsons, a lot of these, Looney Tunes. Family Guy would be great. I would love to have that as a figure in there. Maybe a set with it. So maybe another ideas theme somebody could do.
Yeah, totally.
I always kind of like, as soon as they made the Simpsons, like they did the whole collectible line, they made the Simpsons house. I was like, it almost is logical to then do the Family Guy house. They both touch on the more adult humor, but I think that if you can justify making Simpsons Lego, I think that you can stretch it and justify Family Guy.
100%. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
and I think they need to do a line of all the missed minifigs that came out as well. Like they did the Winnie the Pooh set, they missed Christopher Robin, so maybe bring him in. With The Office, you didn't get Andy. So you can maybe come back with a lot of the ones that really you didn't bring back and call them the forgotten minifigs.
Yeah, that would be a really interesting line. Just does a bunch of different IPs all in one line of collectible minifigs.
So
there's a lot that they missed out on. So
there is
missing link line.
Eowyn from Lord of the Rings. Robert California. Yep.
Good stuff.
Well, that brings us to our speed round. The next couple bit of questions are just going to be a this or that style question. You'll pick one or the other real quick, and we're just going to roll through them. I'll go ahead and get us started. Off the bat, Boba Fett or Jango Fett?
And I guess I would say Boba Fett. To be honest, I don't know which one's who. So
wow.
I just know that the one goes for $2,000 with the Legos. So.
Yep.
I always forget that you're not a Star Wars guy.
Again, it's not that I'm not I really enjoyed 4, 5, and 6. 1 through 3. That was like where I was like, and that got me to stop, altogether with it. So
yeah, I gotcha. Hamburger or pizza?
Pizza.
Yeah, easy answer.
Mega Constructs or Playmobil?
I guess I'd have to go Playmobil. They had better themes out there, out of them.
Yeah.
Playmobil with their IP. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Like the way that Playmobil does their IPs, just kind of, gotta respect.
And I mean, the Avatar sets look like Playmobil minifigs. So.
Yeah, they do kind of.
Legs.
Coke or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Follow the instructions.
That's the younger generation.
Oh, the Pepsi generation. Yep.
I would say follow instructions.
Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
100%.
Yep.
This is another odd Star Wars question. Ian McGregor or Alec Guinness?
See, I would say McGregor, but only because I like The Island and Big Fish.
Yeah, nice. Brick separator or using teeth and fingers?
I chipped a lot of teeth from Lego, so I'm going to go brick separator.
Yeah, that's a winning choice.
My dental bill thanks it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested in this one. MCU or DCEU?
MCU.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. The right answer.
Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Oh.
Not even a question.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
The controller on Xbox, I just didn't like it.
Final question in the speed round. Watch Building a Podcast live on YouTube or catch it later on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
I'm going to say YouTube because we all look pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got to see these faces, right?
Fantastic. Yes.
Yeah.
And all the fixed pearly whites after tooth chipping from Legos. Yeah.
Exactly.
Evan, I just have to
eat from it.
Yeah.
I just have to ask, is that a vintage Royal Knights castle I see over your left shoulder?
That is
the original.
And right underneath it is the Dark Forest Dragon Knights castle as well.
That is one of my favorite Lego sets of all time.
I am lucky to have every single set from that 89 to 96 phase, minus the Star Wars sets. Those are the only ones that I don't have from that era. So
that's a big area for me. Love those 90s sets.
Very
They
good.
don't make the raised base plates like they used to.
I know.
They don't make them at all.
there. Yeah. Sad.
No, now you can do the like we were saying earlier, the mills. You can, build your own
You're a
raised base
big
plate.
proponent of the mills. You always talk to me about transferring to mills, and I'm like, I just can't take the leap.
You got to do it, man.
It would
I
make
did it.
Convention
It's very
traveling
worth
for you
it.
a lot
It's
easier.
but I'm not bringing my modulars to any conventions. Like,
I mean, you did bring the Avengers Tower.
Could
So.
make the
did,
Avengers
and-
Tower modular.
never again. It is modular, but no, it's never going anywhere again. That's
Was that a nightmare?
it was a project, definitely. It took a long time to get it wrapped up so good with the cellophane and the bubble wrap and packing it up. Just too much time. Definitely worth it, but it's not happening again.
We enjoyed seeing it when we were at Brickfest, Virginia.
Thank you.
Or
Thank you.
Was it Brick Fair?
Brick Fair.
Yeah.
Fairfest.
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 I like that.
The
Maybe that'll
ultimate
be
Lego.
one that we can create, come
right.
to the Lego Fairfest.
Come to Lego Fairfest.
Yes. Well,
All
real
right.
quick before we wrap things up, Evan, do you want to go ahead and plug where can people find you? Where can people watch your stuff?
So right now, primarily you can see most of my stuff on Instagram just by searching LegoCr8tor, and it's LegoCr8tor. Same username on TikTok. Somehow my following is bigger on TikTok, which I don't understand that one. And if you're on YouTube, I am just branching into YouTube. So I'd appreciate, if you go check out some of my videos on there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
awesome. And then if you aren't able to catch us live, remember you can always catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get that kind of media. We will be on that platform as well.
Thanks again for watching, everyone. And thanks for being here.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having me too.
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
joining.
that.
Yeah, it was good. Good having you. But yeah, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Good
Bye.
night.